Welcome back. In today's video, we're breaking down the OHLC Statistical Mapping Pro Plus by Joshuuu and Toodegrees. This tool turns historical candle and session data into actionable time and price reference levels, letting analysts visualize statistical manipulation and distribution levels and the average time they are hit. We'll begin with the theory and then explore the settings, style options, practical usage, and how to integrate it into your workflow. The concept of statistical candle and session mapping. The idea behind statistical mapping is to turn recurring price behavior into structured reference points. Based on the lookback you choose, the tool can calculate where candles or sessions have historically formed their manipulation wicks, delivered their main expansion, and when this happened on average. When these features are enabled, the indicator plots those statistical levels directly onto your chart, giving context for how the current candle or session compares to its historical behavior, and where to anticipate potential reversals. For example, a candle might sweep below the open, forming manipulation, then reverse and deliver higher for a distribution in a bullish case, or the reverse for a bearish case. This pattern repeats with surprising frequency, and the indicator quantifies it, plotting average manipulation and distribution and the expected times. When you overlay these statistical levels live on the chart, you gain context. Is this candle behaving normally and in alignment to my bias? Is this session displaying signatures of typical delivery? And this turns raw OHLC data and sessions into structured data. Major features and timeframes. Key features of the indicator include the average manipulation and distribution levels. They show how far price usually expands on your selected timeframe or session based on historical analysis. Tailored timeframe and session selection. You can map 1 hour, 4 hour, or daily and weekly candles, or create a mapping for key sessions, such as the London or New York session. And the indicator is not limited to just these timeframes or sessions, because you can customize their OHLC or session mapping entirely. Then we have the real-time updates, and as each candle completes, statistics are updated so live charting always stays relevant. And historical mapping, we can turn on prior mappings to study and backtest how price interacted with those previous levels. And as you can see, we selected a history of 5, and so the previous 5 London sessions in this case are plotted onto the chart. Settings and customization. Let's walk through the main settings you'll notice. First up, we have the calculation lookback, and this determines how many prior days, sessions, or bars are used for the statistics. For example, 5, 20, 40, 60 days, or you can select the full history option, that's maximum, which will use all available TradingView lookback data. A shorter lookback makes the tool more sensitive to recent behavior, and a longer lookback makes it more stable. It's also possible to click on custom and add a custom calculation lookback. If we change to maximum, for example, you can see that the ranges slightly adjust. Then we have the calculation method, and we can choose either the mean, the median, or both. The median filters out outliers while the mean includes them. Using both creates a zone between the two calculated levels. As you can see, now we have the mean selected, now we have the median selected, and now we have both selected, which creates a zone between the two. Then we also have the units used for the calculation, and we can toggle between percent or points. And you can use percent when trading assets with a growing price range, for example. A 1,000-point move in NQ meant a 32% change in 2010, but it's only like a 5% change in 2024. So percentage keeps your analysis proportional to current market conditions. Then you can enable up to 3 candle timeframes and 3 custom sessions, allowing the indicator to map statistics for different periods directly on your charts. And this includes popular windows like the New York Open or the full RTH session, which many analysts use as a core timing anchor. So if we would go to NQ and add the 9:30 to 4 p.m., you can see how the indicator plots the step map levels for the regular trading hour session only. Then we have the custom time zone and anchor, and with these options you can set your local session start or a custom open for daily levels. So for those looking to use a statistical mapping for the daily range, anchor to midnight open or to a different open time, you can use this setting to anchor it accordingly. So if you want to use a custom anchor at midnight on a 1-day time frame, you can see the indicator now plots the daily step map levels anchored to the midnight open. If we deselect it, it will go back to the default, which is 6 p.m. And then we have the use continuous contracts, and this is for futures only, and it ensures that contract rollovers don't distort the statistics. Style options and visual control. You can tailor the visuals to your layout. You can select which visible elements to show, so the step map levels, the liquidity levels, or both. You can change the line position, either to full session, current bar, or offset. In this case, give a full day view from 6 p.m. all the way until 6 p.m. If we do current bar, it will only display until the current bar that's loaded, in this case 10:30 a.m. And to supercharge the offset function, what we can do is select offset and also load up the higher time frame Power of 3 Pro Plus indicator and make sure the offset is set to 20. And then what you can see is that the step map levels will be displayed right on top of the higher time frame Power of 3 level, helping you spot the step map levels on the higher time frame development. Then we have the customizable visuals, and the style tab basically allows you to customize all the colors, line, thickness, and labels so the statistical levels fit your visual preferences. And this flexibility means you can keep your chart clean or fully annotated depending on your workflow. Liquidity tools integration. One of the powerful features is automatic liquidity mapping, and we can toggle the liquidity to show nearby liquidity pools, swing highs or lows that align with the statistical levels. We can also use the toggle rate to mark when those pools have been breached. In this case, you can see that the dotted lines represent liquidity pools that have been breached already. Then we can use the threshold setting to define proximity in percentages between the step map level and the liquidity pool for it to count. So if we click on show threshold, you can see it gives you a 20% threshold around the step map level for significant liquidity pools. And then you can choose whether to include only pre-session liquidity, which filters liquidity pools to those formed outside this mapped session window. By combining statistical levels with liquidity context, you get not just where price could behave, but also where liquidity resides and has been neutralized. And as you can see, now that we deselected the only pre-session liquidity, the liquidity pools that formed within the session window also are plotted. Analyst insights. Some analyst tips. So we have a new feature, which is the day of the week intraday plus session feature. And you can compare different hours or sessions using this mode to spot session specific behavior. So when enabled, intraday timeframes and sessions are aggregated by day of the week and time of day. When they are disabled, they are aggregated by time of day. So in this case, when we look at this session step map between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., it will look at all the 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. sessions. But it's also specifically on a Friday. So if we enable the feature, it will only look at 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. on all Fridays and use that data instead. Then, align the tool with other concepts such as session opens, kill zones, or PD rays to spot additional confluences. In this case, what we can see is that the market tapped into a bullish fair value gap aligned almost with the step map level right here, that the upper manipulation level aligns with the order block, and that the whole expansion upwards aligns with this bearish fair value gap. Remember, the tool provides statistical reference and it's not a signal generator. Statistics don't guarantee an outcome, but they do shape context. That's the full overview of the Statistical Mapping Pro Plus indicator by Joshuuu and Toodegrees. By mapping manipulation, distribution, time pivots, and liquidity across both candles and sessions, this tool gives you a data-driven perspective on price delivery. For deeper setup instructions, presets, and case examples, visit the Toodegrees Help Center and make sure to join the Discord down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.